In this week's video, we're going to look at the form that we did last week, and we're going to extend on that a little bit. So we start off by doing a loop and come up into a loop, go back down into a loop, and then we come up, round, and create a loop, and then go round and meet up with our line where we started. So here we have another loop, one more loop than in the last video. The next step is to create this form, but reversed or mirrored, if you like. So here we start off by creating a loop, go down and we create a loop, and come up and create a loop, and then we go down and come back up to create a loop, and then round and meet up with our line. So here we have the two forms mirrored, or the top form mirrored in the bottom form. What we want to do, just like in the last video, is we want to move the two forms together. So we start off by creating a loop and go up to create a loop, come down to create our loop, go up to create a loop, and then we come all the way up, create a loop at the top, and then we meet up with our line. And then what we do is we start off by creating a loop that intersects one of the loops, come down to create a loop, up to intersect with a loop, and down and go round, and then we create a loop at the bottom and come round and go back up to meet our line. So here we have the two forms that have moved closer together. When you're creating this form, you want to make sure you've got a good distance between your loops. So we start off by drawing a loop and then a good distance up to the next loop, and then out a good distance, and then a loop, and then we go round, and then we come down and we have a loop overlapping the middle loop, and we come round and we then meet up with our line where we started. So here we have the top loop that has moved down and meeting the middle loop now. So what we want to do when we start this one is we want to really pay attention. Here we start off by overlapping first one loop, then we come down and create a loop, and then back up to overlap with the loop, then we come around, and here we're overlapping again the middle loop, come round, go round, and create our line to meet up with the line where we started. So here you have a sort of, I guess you could call it a little bit of a clover shape, but you have basically 4 sets of intersecting loops. So just in order that you can see what's going on here, I'll draw it up with the blue crayon. So first a loop down, then a loop up, then a loop down, and then we're creating a rounding, and then we're intersecting our middle loop with another loop, come round and meet up with your line. And then the bottom, we start off by intersecting a loop, go down, and then create a loop, and then come up and create a loop which intersects with a loop, and then come down, we're rounding, and then we're intersecting the same loop with the same line, and then back to meet our line. So here you can see quite clearly that the two loops here on the sides are intersecting each other. These are two separate forms, and the loops are intersecting with two different lines, whereas the two loops at the top and the two loops at the bottom are basically intersecting each other with the same line. You can see it because I've done this in blue and this in red. So that's the form for this week that you can practice until next week. And I'll be back next week with a new form drawing exercise for you.